Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Help!
Here,
Oh,
take my hand.
ah!
Come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me!
Take it. Take my hand.
Their pace has quickened. They must have caught our scent.
Hurry!
Come on, Robley.
3 days of night's pursuit. No food, no rest. No sign of our quarry, but what bare rock can tell. Not idly do the leaves of Lorien fall. Less than a day ahead of us. Come. I'm wasted on cross-country. We dwarves are natural sprinters. Very dangerous over short distances. There's something strange at work here. Some evil gives speed to these creatures. Sets its will against us.
What do your elf eyes see?
The Lucent Wake.
Good morning, everybody. How are you out there? Going to be a little, as General Grant said, a little intimate and ugly today. As Mark points out, there's no, you can forget notifications on YouTube anymore. I think that's over for me. The everlasting forehead, indeed. Good morning. It is 8:20 a.m. I know, bit of a random time, but look, it's the morning, and that's just how it goes at the moment. I hope you are well out there. Mo dropping the fake first, retired champion, which I respect. In the chat here, the Golden Wrench himself. Mark didn't notice for a while, but he did get it in the end. Where is it? There it is. So I will put you. I was wondering, is it going to be the first show in a very long time? But oh damn it, I forgot to even put you up there. That's all right. We'll slot you in. Mo asks, who's in the lead? It's Mark is far and away in the lead at the moment. I don't know who the next follow up is. I suppose I can look. What do we got there? Who's in the running? Gary is on 5. Moromi's on 3. That's the situation. Sumo I have on 2, but he says he's on more than that. I'll have to investigate. Yes, far and away. Just please don't sequential treasures out on us. 4 sequential treasures. We want him back. It was all a misunderstanding. I see him out there, you know. Every now and then I'll pop my head into a Ripper stream and he'll be there. Be like, dude. Anyway, I make everyone happy all the time. That's how it goes. How does Bancroft set his own seemingly random start times mere minutes ago and still manage to be late? Well, I just killed a gecko. I was mourning it. We've got one of those sliding doors. And it seems like the gecko, unbeknownst to anyone, decided a good place to lie was right over the roller of the sliding door. And so he's got I bifurcated him, but you know, I thought you could chop off their tails and that would be fine, but he's just sort of lying there. I haven't poked him yet. He looks dead, which is unfortunate for him. Unintentional. I have a habit of doing that. It's 4:20 p.m. on a workday, Bancroft. And everybody else. Hello, what's up, Reese? Yeah, it is a bit like that. It's I do this before work, so tails, yes, torso. No, I don't know, like how far close to the torso. It's still it was the tail. I didn't chop him in half. It's not like but you know, surely there's a point. He might just be in shock, you know. But I thought the point is you chop off their tails and then they run away. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like this new StreamYards thing. They make you have to click things. They added this new like scenes thing. It's annoying. I'll have to figure it out. That wasn't what I wanted to show. I wanted to show this. Mark has received his package down under here. Thank me for the packaging. You are most welcome, Mark. Yeah, I got it down pat, sandwiched between 2 pieces of laminated wood. That we get down at the store, and yeah, they've all arrived safe and sound. I mean, there's nothing I don't think that could penetrate that setup. So I'm very happy to see that it has arrived safe and sound. I'm just waiting on the what was it? What was the last one? No, I think that's all of them that have been shipped. Am I wrong? Oh my god, I'm just completely it's the morning. Because this one is still going. Oh no, it was Artemis, of course, under the tree. I have to check in on that, see if that's arrived yet. You never quite know. This one ends tomorrow. Damn, $150, still going. Love to see it. Mo says, I have a feeling something similar happened to Nugget as he was sunning himself, casually resting his balls on the sliding door rim. We did have to recently change out the wheels on that thing because it wasn't opening properly. They are quite sharp. It's kind of like an ice skate, you know. You get the 2 blades. Any word on Bitey? No. I brought him back in here. I set the glass down. I said, this is your domain. Run free, little spider. And I haven't seen him since. He could still be here. They live for, I think, 4 years. So he could still be in the room. He hasn't. Although you'd think he would come out to say hello. Haven't seen him in weeks. They also do get eaten by their love interests. Okay, not all the time, but some of the time. Bancroft has greased the wheels with the blood of the Is this bag safe for long-term storage, or do I need to transfer it? It is a it is acid-free, but I don't know exactly. Like if you are concerned, maybe grab one. But the one I buy them, they're like poly, such and such. But yeah, I don't want to put any promises on it, because I have even seen the comic book ones. It's like acid free, and then you see guys, they've had them like there for 10 years or something, and they kind of get yellow. But I don't know if that's the ink from the comic being, absorbed into the plastic. Don't know. 4 years. What's up, Kay? What's up, Sim? I had thought I was done. I thought I was out, and they pulled me back in. Where is it? Where is it? This. But then I realized, well, I mean, I was done. And then I realized, no, I'm not, because I felt like this scene was too empty without a bit of a background on it. It's just like, not for me. I know a lot of people don't mind having empty backgrounds, and I will. The other one I've got, like, if it's super close, I will, obviously. But this is too far away, so I'm just going to finish out the rest of the top of this panel here. Is that the... I think that's the right... Test it out. I think they're the right rulers. If I look here... Yeah, that looks right. All right, good. I will frame it fairly soon anyway. Oh, yeah, I mean, it'll be fine. You know, I'm talking about long term, you know, years and years and years. It'll be fine for now, absolutely. Yeah, with the shorts going so well, YouTube, it says like, oh, we don't need to send out notifications to your live viewers. What that's only a small part of your total viewership. Why would we waste your notifications on that? I wish there was a way that you could set that, but you know, it's what it is. Yes, Matt says, what's your current campaign? I'll post the link for all 9 viewers. It's like the old days, Mo. Just talking into the void. I remember I had down. I've got a like a dojo reference here. Actually, I might just get rid of this stuff. It's kind of distracting. There we go. Now I can draw freely. Yeah, the old days. You know, more people on the panel than in the chat. All right, so we've got, it's a bit of a weird angle here, but I think essentially I'm going to build these up first. Yeah, all right. I should have done this earlier. I wasn't, because I transferred this background over from the other panel and just sort of shaped it to the right. This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to be harder than I thought. Damn it. Figure it out. Yeah, I'd taken this background off previous. It's just not. I'm going to get in closer, which I don't like to do. It's not really what I want to do, but desperate times, desperate measures. I think maybe my thing is too small, too high. And I realized that, yeah, that obviously there's not enough stuff to fill the top of the panel. So I'm not done, but I will be done momentarily if this is going to not be an arse, which it clearly is going to be. I'm going to go from the bottom. How about that? There we go. A bit better. No. This reminds me of when I was having to fix up friggin' Waking Dream. You know, adding to, like, this is a nightmare. This is not fun. You never lined up right. You're drawing from inside an auto zone. What are you talking about? Oh, is that what it looks like? No, this is a Japanese dojo. Look, we have spears. We have whatever these are. That's a katana. We got a bow and arrow and some axe type weapons that I made up. Is that what it looks like? I don't know. I've never been to an auto. We don't have AutoZone here. We have Bridgestone. Get in the zone. What's up, Citizen? What's up, Raiden? Hey, when is your book launching, Raiden? Eudaimonia, which I'm one of the only people who knows how to pronounce it. Ascertained that. Eudaimonia 3. There's actually some very cool books coming up soon. That one, this Gemini one, Gemini Crusaders. It feels like not much has been happening comparatively to previous years. You demand, dog. You demand now, dog. Oh, is that how it is, mate? Sorry, I got it wrong. Noalam 2. Oh, wow, that's looking forward to that one. You know, Noalam and Star Noir. Both books I wasn't looking for, but when I found them, I was like, damn. It's really good. Very different, obviously, but sort of in that kind of who done it sort of investigative kind of thing. Did you hear how excited Bancroft sound about his plans to gatekeep Noalam? What are you talking about? Never happened. Is this an homage to Dojo Kun? No, it isn't. I thought, because this is for Jude and Amber, and I thought, where are they going to be? They're just having a little conversation, throwing axes and knives and whatnot. I thought, well, probably training. That's usually where you're going to be throwing things around. So I thought, let's make a cool dojo place. That's fun to draw, isn't it? I don't know. Better than nothing, I say. One must listen to vertical lines by leather hands while drawing vertical lines. Must one, Chris? Every time I put on music, people yell at me, so I've stopped doing that. It just means I know I have to talk a lot, and it ended up just speaking absolute rubbish. And then Mel says to me, why do you talk such absolute rubbish on these things? Believe it or not, I'm not a natural talker. This is a learned skill. I would say it's a skill. It's a learned thing. I wouldn't say I'm skilled at it. What's up, Jasper? Great to see you here. Look, some people are coming in. We've got 18 people watching now. Sorry, I didn't realize I still had that comment. Mike is drawing an AutoZone, Jasper. I'm going to Google this. What the hell is AutoZone? Let me look at this. AutoZone. You guys always... All right, because they look like shells. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I see what you're saying. I want to see images AutoZone store. Interior. It doesn't... I mean, kind of, not really. I can show you here. This is sort of what I'm looking at. I can show you that. Let me paste it on here. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, that's sort of kind of what I'm going for. So it's not going to look like an AutoZone when I put something on it. Thankfully. It's like the friggin' what's it called all over again? Bloody fence radiator thing. Not really, but it's fun to make fun. It is. It's true. Mo says only the announcement of Thunderbuns returning to Twitter and also Bancroft mutilating a harmless gecko. Am I tracing it? I mean, clearly not. It's in a completely different perspective. I am looking at it. So it's the one dojo where you can get your chi and your car rebalanced. Alrighty. Now I had kind of eyeballed this, you know, not really worrying too much about the specifics of the building, and now I realize that's going to bite me in the ass big time. So I wanted to get ready for that. That's going to be fun. We'll see if I can. I might do something else than how they've done on that thing I'm looking at, because essentially these pillars are supposed to line up with these pillars, but I don't think I did that. I think I just drew it however the hell I wanted. Yes, Thunderbuns. I had reached out to him ages ago, and he hadn't gotten back to me. And admittedly, I was starting to get worried. And I'm like, oh, what's happening? You know, because he's gone through so much over the last, God, it's been 3 years now. And it happened again. Like, he just got, you know, everything just started happening again. And but he seems to be over it again now, thankfully. Excited to get back to work on various Lucent things, which makes me excited. And yeah, he popped his head onto Twitter on public, you know, shouting out Arc Athena, which is a book he edited. And I could very much see the I said to him, I can see your handiwork on this book. It's visible. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, here we go. I'm going to make this here. Let's see how this works. I have no idea if this is going to do anything. Okay. Goes up there. This one here. All right, this is sort of working. Ish. I mean, I don't even know if I have to go all the way up there. I'll check my file. Yeah, probably should. First move in the Gecko Aussie War. I mean, it seems like I have drawn first blood. That is true. The Gecko, unfortunately, copped it. And yeah. It wasn't intentional, but, you know, that's little solace for his Gecko brethren and family. Was B-Rose the sacrifice? # worth it. The Geckos have already approached the Emus about securing an alliance. What are they going to do? Geckos. I mean, they're so cute. Mo says his name was Charlie Gecko. CG to his friends. Bancroft, why must you continuously wage war on CG? The reports of my war waging greatly exaggerated. It's up, so there should be nothing there. Should be. I don't know. He might just wake up. You never know. A lot of these animals, they play possum. Speaking of, as I was walking home from work the other day, It was a ringtail possum dead on the. I had nothing to do with it. It had been flattened by a car. Cute little thing. Unfortunately. You know what would be cool is to snag one of these bats. Clark has recently become aware that when the sun goes down here, the bats come out. And you can just sit out here and they're just constantly flying around. And these things are huge. Huge. Meter plus wingspan. And they're so cute. And they land in the trees and hang upside down for a bit. They come and they eat our figs. Yeah, cool to snag one. I had nothing to do with it. Someone who had something to do with it. I know I did kill the gecko. That is true. There's no denying it. I take full responsibility of all gecko murders taking place on this property. Well, a gecko slaughter, not intentional. Murder is such a there's intent there. But wasn't. This is I didn't even know it happened. I was indisposed, taking care of some morning business. When I was informed that that had happened. What's up, Phil in the house? Ronan is here. Mike, what are you planning for con season? I had planned on coming out for Heroes Con. I don't know if that's happening. I haven't received any email back. Plus, as well, the dollar continues to, which is good for selling books to you guys, for me, but not so good for me getting over there to you. Although I've always said, if I have to pay tax, I would much rather, instead of paying tax, I'd much rather write that off and come over and, come to a con over there. But we'll see. It's, I don't know. Do I go over there even if I'm not tabling? It seems like a long way to go. But if everyone does end up going, maybe I will. Although, it will be around the time I'm kind of getting ready to launch Fractured Mind, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not sure. So I would love to come. I mean, that was still, Tampa was still, a big highlight of, this whole venture. I do actually enjoy meeting everyone. It's just so damn far away. And there's a Supernova here, which is a Australian convention that does have an artist's alley and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to do that straight away. I'm going to go suss it out. I said, does anyone want to? Said, yeah, sure, I'll come. Everyone else, oh, Rob, you want to come? Clayton, Dean, all the people who I know are in Melbourne. And no one said, yeah, sure. I think someone just said, yeah, I went to one a couple of years ago. It's just furries. I was like, oh, God. I can totally see that being a thing, just cosplaying furries. Whatever. But you never, I don't know. I should check it out for myself. All right, time for a new ruler here. Gonna have a bit of an angle. I'll duplicate this. Yep. Bancroft will adopt his classic fursona Duckold. What? That's not my fursona, though. Jasper says a bunch of thick and critical people are going to Dallas Fan Expo. Wes is traveling from the Philippines. Oh, I forgot Wes is in the Philippines. When is that? What I think I might just need to. This is too complicated. I'm just going to do these bad boys. May. Yeah. That's unfortunately that ain't gonna happen. Man, I would love to. I seriously would love to, be over there and just go, yeah, sure, I'll come to a con. I'll fly over to Dallas. Like, that would be so awesome. We do have a very kind of different, mindset over here in Australia. We sort of resigned, I think, to, what have I done here? I'm an idiot. That's not how it's supposed to be. All right, that's supposed to not be there. Well, maybe it could be. Maybe I get rid of this. Now I'm thinking outside the box. Yes. All right. Just redesigning a bit of architecture here. Dallas is about 10 hours away from Mark. Tampa is much closer. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would be coming back to Tampa. Again, it's such a far way to come. I do want to, see new cities and places. Not just go to the same place every time. I mean, we always wanted to go to Vegas. Obviously, that's sort of, somewhere where I would want to go. But I don't think that was happening either. Justice says, but Tampa sucks. Yeah, the con itself, I don't know if you're talking about the con. The con itself wasn't, the people were great. Just the con was, It's a bit different for me because I have almost no hope of actually, even if I do table or whatever, of making a profit, turning a profit after the friggin' $5,000 investment just to get there. So it's like, to me, the whole thing is a complete write-off. So that's not for everyone. I think Friday Night Tights people will be there in Dallas as well. Mo says, make a special Lucent cover for the convention. Have Rob dress up in a cow suit and let Mrs. B count all the cash. Wonder if Rob would be amenable. We tried to get Rob to come over. Rob has chronic back pain, in case you haven't noticed. He's a bit grumpy. I I don't imagine he would do well on a long haul flight. Met Frank Miller and Klaus Janssen, Klaus Janssen at Dallas. It's a fun con. That would be cool. I was listening to a video of Alan Moore the other day. What he was saying was clever. He was talking about writing. It wasn't about politics or anything. But that accent, is that real? Can that even be real? The way he speaks, I've never heard a single person in history talk like he does. It is so thick and unusual. Do you have a particular Vegas casino in mind? There are go-go girls at the tables of the Cosmo. No, just, whatever's good poker. There's actually a really good poker room in Tampa, but I only got to spend about an hour there. I think I lost $100. Tell Rob it's a special promotion at the Milk Bar. Phil says, yeah, chronic butt pain. You could imagine that. What's up, Amanda? I just got an invitation to something. Oh, that's... Yes. Alan Moore is a bummer. I mean, this video was fine what he was saying, but I was like, what? Yeah, I've heard him speak before, but I was kind of shocked. I can't deny. All right, what was I doing? Okay, that's better. Yep. All right, all good, fine. And I was doing this. Yes. Mark says we have a local con here in Pensacola. That just writes itself. 2 weeks ago, this is 30 minutes from the house. It's good, but not nearly as big as the major markets with growing. I don't know. We probably have all these little cons. I'm not tapped into that scene at all. All right. Actually, let me do this bit first. It's not right. Mm-hmm. You got to listen to that Grant Morrison key, not at the Chaos Magic Con. Keynote. Okay. I'll put a note down. Something to listen to later while I'm at work. Mo says, what's so cool about comic conventions is they are in no way depressing and full of weebs and acidic beer. Yeah. I actually did go to sort of like a proto convention. I didn't know it was called a convention way back in the day. It was just sort of like had more like a kind of an organized garage sale meetup vibe. and it was great. There was, tables of Star Wars toys, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Tables of back issues and everything. It was all just. It was in a town hall, and there was no spectacle at all. It was just you're there to buy stuff. I have great memories of it, but I only ever went to the one. Looks like I probably should put another one in here somewhere behind this. It's fine. I honestly didn't even really look around the con at all in Tampa. I went to I think Graham's booth was a little further away. So, I went and checked that out. But other than that, even like just walking around, just from place to place, but I didn't actually, look around to purchase anything. What do I do here? What am I trying to do? I think it's just like that. I have a huge Star Wars toy collection myself. I have had it since I was a kid. Need to sell it off for storage space since it's not. Oh, Mark, we had so much. I was so proud of our Star Wars. I mean, but we were kids. We played it to hell. I mean, we killed it. And then my brother decided he wanted to actually start collecting them and collected up a whole bunch of figures and vehicles and everything. And then he had a party and got drunk, and it got kind of gate crashed by a whole bunch of people, and everything got stolen. Luckily, I'd already moved out by then, so all of my stuff was gone, all my comics, all of my kind of things that I collected, but music, DVDs and the Star Wars collection all taken. It was a disaster. I bent my walkie. Gay crushed? What did I say? What are you talking about, Phil? Did I say gay crushed? Gate crashed. Gate crashed. That's a word, isn't it? You guys have that word. When people come to a party and they're not invited. That's a normal word. That's not colloquial. Star Wars figures are worth, says Jasper. Weapons and accessories sell for decent prices. Yeah. When people started realizing they're worth something, I think everyone came out of the woodwork. But people who actually held on to the things in a collector's sort of way, probably few and far between. I can remember being a kid going to the toy store, and these figures were just in these huge bins for $1 each. They had so many of them, and you just rip them open and you play them to death, and you eventually lose all the stuff. And if I have to be honest, I don't really rate the original Star Wars figures all that highly. Some of them were like pretty bad. You know, the likenesses and what. Some of them were okay, but there wasn't much you could do with them. I liked my Turtles figures and my wrestling figures when I was a kid. It's cool to see Camel is like get able to make a friggin' you know, Hasbro friggin' wrestling type figure. That's really cool. I haven't seen that around. Jasper says he's raising $1,400 for a new guitar, listing tons of comics. Good luck. What kind of guitar are you getting? Is that, and I know nothing about guitars. Is that expensive? Is that normal? The only thing I know about guitars is there was a guy locally here who was making them, and he had some revolutionary new way of making them, and he ended up becoming a multimillionaire because he's like selling them to all these musicians around the world. And he was a local guy here. Again, I had no idea what he did. I think he became kind of bespoke famous. TV Yellow Les Paul Special. I've heard of Les Paul. That's all. That's not a cheap one. Okay. No, it doesn't sound cheap to me, but yeah, you know, you never know. All righty. I only buy investment pieces, says Jasper. You're investing in guitars? I don't know why I sound shocked at that. I once talked about investing in Lego, which would have been a good investment. I don't know if it still is, but I think people probably do. I guess you can invest in anything that holds value. Graded comics market killed the fun for me. Yeah. What killed it for me was getting burnt on eBay. You know, I think I lost $400 or $600 on a book once, and I was like, I'm done. And I think, you know, eventually probably scammers start getting involved. You never quite know, is it a real book or what? I don't know. Probably just better off in investing in gold. Right, I don't know how much I need to. drawer here. Right now is a great time to buy, says Jasper. Market is soft. Sucks to be a seller. The market is soft, as in prices are low. Right. In comics, that's how it is. Yeah, at the moment, nothing's really selling. Are you talking about in comics or in guitars? I was very happy with the price that that Lucent book sold at. But yeah, I'm not looking to sell any of my collectible comics at the moment. I've seen a lot of people videos say that the whole CGC thing is sort of a bit of a scam. I don't know how accurate that is, but I've seen people make those videos. I only have one slabbed book, and that's because they sent it to me slabbed, and it was just thrown in with other stuff. But people still buy them, and people add them to their campaigns, and they seem to go quite well. Mo says, I'm on the outside looking in on this subject, but CGC seems like a way to take the fun out of. Yeah, that's how I've always felt about it as well. It's like it's purely a kind of investment thing. And the reason why these things are valuable in the first place is because of what's in the books, and the stories and everything. So it does seem kind of counter to the whole spirit of the endeavor. I mean, when I was a kid and I started collecting old issues, I started with Web of Spider-Man because I came in at issue 83. So I wanted, it seemed fairly feasible to get the whole thing. And so I just started, going to shops and trying to pick up odd issues here and there. But then one day we had, our classifieds. A guy had the entire run, and he was selling it for $150, which was, not something I could afford. But I was like, I begged my mum and I said, this could be, Christmas and birthday together. And I did end up getting it. It was one of the best days of my life till that point. I came home with this long box of Web Spider-Mans. And the first thing I didn't get them and put them all in Mylar bags. I started with number one and started reading. It was fantastic. It lasted me ages. Mark says Web was the first full run series he bought as they released. Yeah, I didn't come in until 91, I think. So a little bit behind. I think I only just barely lasted to get the entire run. I don't think it lasted much longer than I was reading. And then I started the Peter Parker, because I was already getting Spectacular Spider-Man, which wasn't my favorite of the three. But that one again seemed somewhat feasible. I still don't have the entire run. I think I'm missing about 20. And it wouldn't cost that much to finish it, but I don't know. I'm just not as interested as I once was. I know Flash was saying he's got almost all the Amazings, or does have them. That's impressive. That's legit. Jassa says, I have Craven's Last Hunt issues 3. It's the 3 issues signed by, that's awesome. Signed by the creative team. I remember like just reading that, you know, this is before the internet, obviously, before, you know, there was Wizard magazine and stuff, but they weren't talking about Craven's Last Hunt. And I didn't really know about trade paperbacks or anything like that, or even if they were a big thing back then. I remember reading that and just being blown away. So there's a reason why that's so famous. But says Bancroft never read Craven's Last Hunt. He said, I haven't even read his first hunt yet. Do I have the Clone Saga? I would have to go check, man. I remember not enjoying the Clone Saga. So I don't know if I have the whole thing. We're going ways back now. Quite certain I've forgotten a lot more than I remember. Put these two together. Who did enjoy the Clone Saga? It says gay. It says, well, you know, it's still, you know, you're young and you're like, what is this? What's happening? Why am I reading this? All I know is I remember that I didn't like any of the cosmic stuff. Found it weird and, you know, confusing. And then when I sort of got back into comics when I was older, I loved it. I shouldn't have done that. You know, I started reading the old Jim Starlin stuff and I was loving it. But then when I was a kid, it was all just weird. Didn't want to read any of it. Clone Saga, not reviewed well, but it was a big deal. I remember it being a big deal. It changed everything. I didn't want to change everything. Comic books. What do they say? They'll break your heart. Yeah, I probably just ended up wanting to spend my money on other things. It was a confluence of issues that eventually led me to stop collecting back in the 90s. Wine and women, we understand. Yeah. When I was young, kids started drinking early. I remember drinking when I was 14, which is crazy. If I can think of my own daughter who's 12, 2 years away from that. Nuts. But it's not really the same anymore. Kids these days vape young. But I don't know if they're getting out there getting drunk in the way that we did. KSS says, I started drinking at 14 too, started smoking then too. I did that, my first cigarette, and it was the worst experience of my life. I had no intention of ever doing it again. But then you see everyone else doing it, you're like, well, they're doing it. So, something's happening there. And then I try again. It's like, no, it's terrible. Had zero interest. All I ever got was sick and a headache, and with no benefit. Just here's this thing that costs money, which I didn't have, that'll make you sick, and it stinks. Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't for me. Even when we graduated high school, all of us guys, I think guys, we were like 18. We were kids. We bought ourselves cigars. I vomited all night. I must have inhaled the smoke or something. I don't know. I was probably too drunk to realize, but yeah. Oh, it was terrible. There is no benefit. Yeah, no, and even, a lot of people say oh, you're hanging out with the other cool smoking kids. I hung out with them anyway. I just didn't smoke. It wasn't a problem. They were like, oh, you can't hang out with us because you don't smoke. You just hang out. Why not? I never really got that. But then later on in life, you see, and my brother was like this. It took a long time for my mother to quit smoking. It was a long, hard road, many, many years. And then my brothers took it up, and I just couldn't understand. I'm like, you can see it, how difficult this is to quit. Just don't start. And that's all I saw. And it's all these guys just people just really wanting to quit and really struggling with it. It was we were all there when you started this. No one forced you. It's yeah, it is what it is. Everyone has their vices. Bite your tongue, says Amanda. Our girls are almost there. It's amazing how, in a blink of an eye, they just go from little girls to teenagers and everything that comes with that. It's just overnight, seemingly. And Victoria isn't even a teenager yet, technically. She's still a tween, but she acts like it. All right, let me get this done. Ronan says, you're lucky they made you sick. For me, it was no big deal. I kept smoking for a bit. Yeah, that's what all my friends were like. They were like, I don't know why you're getting sick. I don't know what the deal is here. And although not many of my friends actually did smoke, we were kind of a bit unusual like that, I think. A lot of my close friends, none of us smoked. One did. And again, it was no big deal. He smoked, A black belt tween. Not yet. She just got her orange belt. Fourth stripe on her orange belt, which is the final stripe. And her best friend at jiu-jitsu, just got her green. Green is the last belt that you can get in the kids belt section. So we're excited to see that come in maybe later this year. And if you're a green belt in jiu-jitsu, you're like the cock of the walk, you know. That's essentially black belt for kids. It means you've made it. What's up, Maromi? Mark says, never liked drinking or smoking, was too busy chasing girls. Yeah, but what if the girls drank and smoked too? I was too busy rollerblading, you see that. I had more important things to do. Yeah. Being a superstar extreme sports individual that I was. That was a joke, by the way. Jasper says, my son decided to get out of baseball after 7 or 8 years. Breaks my heart. Is there any way you can convince him to keep with it? Mel and I were talking about this the other day. It's like, you know, kids are fickle, and we were all the same. Yeah, I started ice hockey, but I was only able to do it for 3 or 4 years. But it's kind of a bigger commitment to do ice hockey in Australia. It's like, you know, it's much more expensive sport than most other sports. So I understand why I had to sort of make that choice. I couldn't do both because it was too much of a burden. But, you know, I think a lot of these kids end up winding up regretting not sticking with sports. You know, I mean, if he's got another sport that he's doing, you know, he just wants to make a choice, fine. No, he's a teenager, wants to get into basketball. Okay. Yeah. You know, friend groups obviously really important there. You know, you want to do what your friends are doing, and essentially that's what I chose as well. All my friends were rollerbladers. They were all like, you know, down the ramp, hanging out, skating, whatever. So that's what I did. I didn't really have any friends at ice hockey, so you know, it's just what happens. Ice hockey is more here as well. It's my favorite sport to play. It's good. The problem is I just wasn't very good. that was the issue. Okay-ish skater, not the best. I like the kind of the bumps and everything. That's all like that makes it a lot fun for me. Getting banged around and everything. That was always good. But you know, I can't imagine my puck handling skills were really anything to write home about. I think I probably scored, you know, 3 or 4 goals in my whole career. Well, hopefully your son enjoys basketball. It's the Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan in reverse. I also played a little bit of guitar, but not seriously. some of my friends who I was playing with way back in the day, they did take it seriously and ended up becoming, quite successful local bands, getting airplay and touring and everything. But yeah, like I said, all my friends were skating, so that's what I did. Imagine if I'd gotten into drawing comics back then, where I would be now. The what ifs. Ronan says, I was the third best guitar player at my high school. It isn't saying much since the top two were light years ahead of us. I did used to enjoy hanging out with the music kids. In lunchtime, they'd go practice. They'd play Metallica, and that was pretty cool. But I was happy to watch. I'm like, I don't need to be a superstar guitarist, I don't think. Right. Got 2 minutes, and just need to get these deleted. And this is your, what did you call it? Auto Zone Dojo. There we go. And I'll put the things back on. It's the I don't know what happened to my. I had a mask though. Anyway, there we go. Done and dusted. What the hell? All right, everybody. That's it for me. I am out of here, going to work. I will see you. What am I doing tomorrow? Anything? Just hanging out. Obviously, the what's it? The auction is we're doing the auction thing tomorrow. I'll think of something. Actually, got a few books coming up over the next, to talk about. So that's cool, exciting over the next couple of weeks. But that's it for me. I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you around. All right, guys. Bye.
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.